Whoever coined the slang term dope for drugs was onto something because all addictions, whether to drugs or behaviors involve dopamine. Dopamine is the essential neurotransmitter in the motivation system, without which all mammals are inert, inactive, and lacking all incentive. A hungry laboratory mouse whose brain is artificially denuded of its dopamine apparatus will starve himself while standing in front of a plate of food. In fact, every addict is a dopamine fiend, outsourcing the hunt for the homegrown chemical hit that makes the present moment exciting and vibrant. For virtually every positive feeling or quality people derive from their substance or behavior of choice, there are endogenous, naturally occurring brain chemicals implicated. Addiction begins as an attempt to induce feelings that we were biologically programmed to generate innately and would have if unhealthy development hadn't gone in the way. Sex addiction, for example, has nothing to do with a high sex drive and everything to do with dopamine. Opiate addiction is rooted in the evolutionary brain mechanisms that promote social bonding, nurturing emotional closeness and social affiliation. We would anticipate that individuals who experience especially intense social distress and insecurities would be especially vulnerable to opiate abuse, and this prediction has been affirmed by many clinical research. Indeed, the same dynamic may help explain why opiate addictions are especially prevalent among the socially disenfranchised. The endorphin system, too, is dependent on supportive, attuned relationships early in life for its development. Face to face interactions activate the child's sympathetic nervous system, writes Louis Cosolino, a clinical psychologist, neuroscientist, and professor of psychology at Pepperdine University. These higher levels of activation correlate with increased production of oxytocin, prolactin, endorphins, and dopamine, some of the same biochemical systems involved in addiction. A child's closeness with the attuned, emotionally available parent promotes the optimal growth of brain systems. The lack of it inhibits healthy development. Work has been the main but not only addiction of singer songwriter Alanis Morissette. In endorphin friendly terms, she now speaks of it as a compensation. There is an attachment craving in being famous, she said when we spoke. If you think about it, eyeballs are on you. Everyone's hyper responsive. Everyone's paying attention to you. You keep chasing that sense of being loved and adored and stared at. Morissette was seeking to attain through her fame that state of infant bliss so many miss out on or experience all too briefly. When Robert Palmer sang about being addicted to love, he might have been speaking to all of us with our hands raised, all the drug addicts, all the workaholic, all the compulsive gamblers, and shoppers and eaters, all those hopelessly chasing the next exciting high or soothing low. Except it's not really love we get hooked on to, but our desperate attempts to cope with its lack by any means necessary.